Hi and welcome to a new video for the Kit Scrappiness design team. Today I'm using Nuvo Glimmer paste and some nuke stamps with Kit Scrappiness and Gina Marie dies. And I'm starting by using the Nuvo Glimmer paste to create a background. And this time I'm actually not using it to stencil something, but as a paint to create a blended background from pink to purple. And to create that, I'm just smearing 3 different Nuvo Glimmer pastes onto a white piece of cardstock. It's not a watercolor cardstock, it's just regular white cardstock. And I'm using the pink opal. Then for the medium tone, I'm using Tanzanite lavender. I hope I pronounce it correctly. And for the darkest purple, I'm using the amethyst purple. And I'm just going a little bit back and forth. And as you can see, you can even blend those a little if you go over with the lighter color over to the darker a little bit again. So I'm just covering everything so the paste really covers the white part of the cardstock. And there again, you can see the shimmer of the Nuvo Glimmer paste. Then I let it dry, so I heat set it a little bit and let it sit for a while to really dry. And then I'm taking the Newton's Nuke Happy Little Thoughts stamp set. It's 3 different wreaths with like little sayings and such. And I'm using the flower wreath to add interest to the background, just stamping it randomly onto there to create, so the wreaths shine through the glimmer paste. No, the other way around. The glimmer paste shines through the flowers. Stamping that a couple of times, heat set that too, and then I'm using one of the smaller flowers in the same set to just add to the background that I don't have too many like empty spaces in between the wreath. And because it's VersaFine ink, I heat set that a little too, just so I'm not accidentally smearing over with my thumb and ruin the whole image. Then I'm using the Gina Marie Stitched Circle Plate background die to create the outline for the card. And it's a little bit, because it's a lot of pieces, so I have to be a little bit careful there to pop out all of them. And as you can see on the side, I already cut it out in white because I want to use some of the white circles. So that it's not all the glimmer paste, so it breaks up a little bit. And trust me, I tried a lot of back and forth, like on how I want to organize all the circles and the die on there darkly. So then I decide to go with a black background because I think purple and black fits really well together. And here you can start watching me how I start organizing things and try to put some white randomly in there, and then some of the glimmer paste round circles in there. And yeah, I cut out a whole lot of pieces, so I couldn't decide how I wanted, and then I didn't like it that way, and then I didn't like it that way. Ugh, it's a whole mess. That happens when you do something like that on the weekend. You can't decide stuff. So what I knew though is that I wanted to use the Thank You die from Kit Scrappiness. It's one of her brush letter sentiments. And so I just start with adhering the frame to the black background, and I'm using just a regular glue pen, the thinnest one that I have, because the lines are rather thin. So you could also adhere it on double-sided adhesive to just skip that part with the liquid glue and have everything on double-sided adhesive already. So, and I knew I wanted to use the Thank You, so I cut it in black and white cardstock. And after the whole back and forth, you can now see the final part and how I decided how I want this card to be. I'm adhering the circles down, and I'm except for the one on the top right, I'm adhering all the ones with liquid adhesive, and the one on the top right I'm popping up with foam tape. So the Thank You, because that's where the Thank You will be at the end. I wanted to stay that even out a little bit more. So just adhering those down, and then I'm taking the Thank You and I die cut it in, once from black, once from white cardstock, and again it's just regular cardstock, and adhere them together. I'm doing that because the black, you can see that very good on the white circle, but on the black background and on the purple glimmer paste it's a little harder to see. That's why I wanted to have a little contrast there. And because I don't have the patience to cut exactly on the lines of the circle and then adhere a white part and a black part together, even though that would be interesting now that I think about it, I just put a white part behind the black one. what I did here, because I wanted to have a little, I wanted to have the white again on there. So I took one of the white circles and kind of eyeball the wreath there again, trying to line it up and kind of eyeball the way it sits there. It's just a millimeter wrong, but you really can't see it. Even you really have to look closely in order to see that I screwed up a millimeter on the wreath here. Of course, I could have done it up front. If I would have known that I wanted to do it that way up front, I could have done that with a stamping tool. So anyway, adhering my sentiment directly onto the white part that is popped up and adding a little foam tape to the areas that are outside of the white circle, so they are popped up too and they don't get smushed in the mail if I send it at one point. And then I'm just adhering the black part onto a white card base. I'm doing that. I'm not using a black card base because it's harder to write on, so I just always do, when I do black cards, do it like that and then adhere it onto a white card base. And here you can see all the pretty shimmer from the Nuvo Glimmer paste that I really like. And the nice thing about those is even that when you rub over it as soon as it's dry, you don't have all the glitter on your finger. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope I see you for my next video. Have a great rest of the day and hope to see you soon. Bye!